What's up, minions? Welcome back to the channel here today. Demon of Empire speaking. Today we will be discussing The Society on Netflix again, but this time we will be going over some of the major plot points, principal characters, and main events which occurred over the course of Season 1. Now before we begin, I want to let you guys know that I will be getting into some major spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled on any of the major plot points from this show, be sure to click off the video. If you're okay with light spoilers, feel free to check out The Demon's Verdict. Link is in the description down below. By the way, if you want to support this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also donate to me through PayPal. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the exposition of this show, which occurs in episode 1. At the beginning of episode 1, a group of high school graduates from Newham, Connecticut are sent on a camping trip outside of town. Soon, however, they find out that the way to their destination has been blocked, and they are promptly sent home. The following day, the teenagers find themselves completely cut off from the rest of the world, and that nothing but trees and foliage exist beyond the city limits. Most of the teenagers react impulsively and begin looting various food stores around the city. Others take a different approach. A scouting party is formed and is sent on an expedition into the forest to find out what, if anything, lies beyond it. But things take a dark and ugly turn when one of the designated scouts gets bitten by a snake, then dies, leaving the rest of the group in shock. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the episodes themselves and the arc structure of this series. I will also be going over some of the main plot points and principal characters. In total, Season 1 consists of 10 episodes. The length of each episode ranges from 48 minutes to just over an hour. The first arc of this series starts with episode 1. As mentioned earlier, episode 1 serves as the exposition of this series. From here, the teenagers begin the process of forming their own government, led by Cassandra, who is the student body president. Towards the end of episode 1, Cassandra is revealed to have a congenital heart issue, which she needs to take medicine for. The first arc comes to an end in episode 3, when Cassandra is shot and killed by an unknown assailant. Episodes 4 through 6 make up the climax of Season 1. After Cassandra's untimely death, the rest of the teenagers are in mourning. Without Cassandra's leadership, her sister Allie proceeds to take the reins. In episode 5, Cassandra's assailant is revealed and is placed in custody. After being taken to court, the assassin is found guilty and is executed in the forest in episode 6. The third and final arc of Season 1 begins with episode 7 after a 6-month time skip and ends with the season finale. In the days leading up to Thanksgiving, the research team, which has been responsible for trying to find out where the teenagers are and how to get back home, are now ready to tell the rest of the group of their findings. It turns out that not only are the teenagers not in Newham, but the teenagers are not even on Earth anymore. In fact, the teenagers are in a completely different dimension. It's mind-boggling. After the research team explains their findings, the teenagers prepare whatever foods they can craft and bake in preparation for the Thanksgiving feast. One of the teenagers, a girl named Elle, prepares a pumpkin pie for her boyfriend Campbell, which he then decides to share with the others. But little did Campbell know that his girlfriend's pumpkin pie contained a deadly secret. Elle and Campbell's relationship was unhealthy from the start. From the beginning of Season 1, Campbell treated Elle like his own plaything, comparable to how the Joker treated Harley Quinn in Batman the Animated Series. In The Society episode 7, Elle decides to lace the pumpkin pie with antifreeze, hoping to poison her abusive boyfriend. But her plan backfires when Campbell refuses to eat it right away, and instead he brings it to the feasting area, causing several other teenagers to get poisoned instead. Cassandra's sister Allie was one of them. Fortunately, nobody died from the poison, but upon her recovery, Allie uses her authority to find the source of the poison. She sends a group of jocks, which serves as a de facto police force, and orders them to put a girl named Lexi into custody. Lexi has not been happy with some of Allie's decisions prior to this incident. It was entirely plausible, as far as Allie was concerned, that Lexi may have had something to do with her being poisoned, but the jocks overstep their boundaries and humiliate Lexi while she's in custody. When Lexi decides to confront Allie about this, Allie refuses to condemn the jocks, but pretty soon Allie's decision comes back to haunt her. When a formal election is called, Lexi confronts Allie about this in front of all the teenagers. As she decides to run against her, it is clear that Lexi has the advantage in the first poll against Allie. But while all of this is happening, the second expedition is launched into the forest. This time, they are in search for farmland. But unlike last time, this expedition proves fruitful, and they manage to come across an open area that is clear of trees and is filled with turkeys. But before the expedition team can arrive back safely, a coup is launched against Allie. Lexi has teamed up with the jocks and Campbell to try and overthrow her. They falsely accused Allie of trying to interfere with the election results, and then they put Allie into custody. When the expedition team comes back and finds out what happened, they are left in shock. And that is the cliffhanger for the season finale. Okay, so now that we got the main plot out of the way, I wanted to use this next segment to draw some comparisons between the Society and the 100. I mentioned some of these things in the Demon's Verdict, but this time I want to go a little bit more in depth with this. As I mentioned in the Demon's Verdict, both the 100 and the Society revolve around teenagers. As far as the plot is concerned, however, I feel like the 100 drags on a little bit too much and has far too many twists and turns. The Society, on the other hand, doesn't have as many twists and turns, and most of the main events happen in a timely manner, and when they do, it's satisfying. There are other differences between these two shows. For example, in the 100, there's just a glimmer of communication between the adults and the teenagers. But in the Society, there is no communication with the outside world at all. In fact, at the end of the season finale, it is revealed that the teenagers are presumed dead in the real world. There are other comparisons I could make, including the number of teenagers involved. As the title suggests, the group of teenagers in the 100 starts off with 100 individuals, but the group of teenagers in the Society numbers well over 200. The age range is different too. In the 100, the age range is fairly broad. They are all under the age of 18 and are not limited to a specific grade. With the Society, on the other hand, the group of teenagers are limited to high school graduates. But what do I know? Let me know in the comments section whether or not you like the Society or the 100 more. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.